we go.
Hello and welcome to another Clash Royale video, and today we have this new version Xbow rocket cycle deck with us. So as you can see, we have replaced the Ice Spirit with Electrospirit, because the Electrospirit will be providing you with a lot more value for that one elixir you're going to spend. And as the game progresses into double or triple elixir time, you will be able to stack up multiple Xbows and Tesla towers in the map, and eventually your opponent will be destroyed. And if somehow they survive all that, then you can always rocket cycle them out anytime in the match. So you can use this deck in both ladder pushing and in grand or classic challenges. So I will be showing you one match from the ladder and 3 matches from a classic challenge that I have played to provide you with an overall idea of how this deck is going to work. So without wasting any time, let us begin with our matchups and see how we can assert dominance using this deck. So we have a match against a Japanese player. So what we can do is we can go for a skeletons. We can go for some skeletons in the back and wait for his response. If he does not respond with anything, then I think what we can do is we can follow up with an Xbow in the opposite lane, and we can go for Tesla over here. So there we go. And okay, here comes the fireball, but still the Hog Rider is not going to get any hits on the tower though. We can follow up with the Ice Whiz over here because he has the fireball out of cycle. So what we can do is we can again follow up with a Knight over here and some Skellies back over here to shut that Hog Rider down quite efficiently. So the Hog Rider gets 1 hit on the tower though. The Knight and the Skellies along with the Ice Whiz is going to give us some nice amount of counter push, and or we can follow up with the Xbow over here, and then I think we can follow up with the Tesla over here. So I don't think we're going to be anything. If he drops a cannon, the Electrospirit is not going to connect to the tower though, and this time the Xbow is going to connect to the tower. You can log everything back, and okay, the Hog Rider is going to die to the tower eventually, and we are not getting any damage from the Hog, but we are up in damage right now, so that's good to see. What we can do is we can go for an Ice Visit in the back and we can wait for his response, or what we can do is we can go for another Xbow over here, and then we can go for some nice amount of Skellies over here. And then I think what we can do is we can follow up with a Tesla over here, and there we go. I think the Musketeer we will be able to shut that Musketeer down. There we go. And he will be dropping in Hog Rider in the opposite lane. We have to be ready. We have to be ready. The Electrospirit connects. We can follow up with an Xbow over here because the Tesla is still alive, and we can log. We can just use the log, or we can go for a Knight over here, and we can follow up with a log over here, and then we can go for a Tesla over here. So what we can do is we can go for Skellies over here. The Musketeer will die to the Xbow. The Hog Rider will die to the Xbow. The Ice Golem will die to the Xbow. We can go for another Xbow right there, baby, and you don't have anything to defend. And there we go. The Xbow is going to connect to the tower. That's brilliant value right over there, and I think we will be able to shut everything down at once right over here. And we win this matchup. Well played, GG. I don't think you're coming back to this matchup. Right. So what we can do is we can go for Tesla to eliminate the Hog Rider, and we can follow up the Ice Wizard over here. And I think now we are in a log range, so we just have to wait for the log to come back in cycle. And there we go. GG. Well played. Well played, brother. Good game. And we win this very easily. So that's how you play against a 2.3 crazily fast Hog Rider cycle deck. That's just brilliant. So this time we have a matchup against Schleip from Just Jordan. So okay, let's wait for his response, or we can go and cycle some skeletons back over here and wait. And he immediately drops a Dark Prince on the back. So what we can do is we can go for an Electrospirit back over here to stop the Dark Prince's charge, or we can go for a Tesla over here, or we can follow up with a Knight. And there we go. And the Knight will be able to shut that Dark Prince down. We can follow up with a Tesla over here, and then we can follow up with an Ice Wizard and some nice amount of skeletons over here. and there comes the prince. So he is playing a skeleton giant double prince deck, so that's something new and different right over here. So what we can do is we can follow up with the Tesla, and we can log the prince's charge and take absolutely no damage from the prince and the Electro Wizard.
12 seconds later.
So after the nerf, the giant skeleton is one of the most useless card in Clash Royale, and if you are asking the question why, then you can see it right here. So what we can do is we can follow up with a knight over here, and there comes the prince and the Electro Wizard push. We can follow up with some skellies back over here. We can go for ice freeze over here. We can follow up with an Electrospirit. We can okay. And I cannot distract that dark prince in the right time, and it is going to get so many hits on the tower, and right now we are down by so much.
It's a matter of focus, commitment.
Can follow up with an Xbow in the opposite lane, and this time we can go for an ice wizard over here. Here comes the Electro Wizard, and okay, what we can do is we can follow up with some skellies back over here. We can follow up with Tesla over here, and we can just log everything back and take absolutely no damage from the Dark Prince and the Electro Wizard. Now what we can do, we can follow up with another Xbow over here. So let's see what we have to drop. We can follow up the knight, then we can follow with some skeletons, and we have Tesla back in hand. So what we can do is we can go and cycle some of that over here. So there we go. I think the log will be able to eliminate everything over here, and the skeleton giant will eventually die to the Xbow, and the Xbow connects to the tower. A defensive Xbow over here, and I don't think he has a nice amount of spells. So what we can do is we can go for an ice over here, and then we can follow up with some skellies, ice is over here, and there we go. We can follow some Tesla tower over here. We can log everything back, and there we go. We will be able to shut that wizard down, and there we go. And the Inferno Dragon dies, and I think we can go for and follow up with another Xbow over here over this lane. The Prince will die. The Dark Prince is not going to get any hits on the tower whatsoever because the Xbow is tanking, and there we go. We are going to get some Xbow connection, some nice little Xbow connection. We can follow up with a knight over here. We can follow up with an ice wizard over here, and he does not have anything to do. What we can do is we can follow up with a log once again, so that the princess does not get any damage onto our towers. We can follow up with a knight over here to pull that giant skeleton to the middle, and now we are in the verge of getting, and there comes the win. Well played, GG, and there comes the win. That was a very intense matchup, but we still pull it out quite easily. So there we go. So we have a matchup against Nova. Okay, Mr. Nova, what do you have in store for us? We can drop an Electrospirit back over here to counter that Ice Spirit. We see skeletons, and then we can go for our own skeletons in the middle to eliminate his one, and then he just drops a Musketeer in the back. So what we can do is we can log it, and then I think we can go for an Ice Wizard over here, and we can follow up with a Tesla over here, and then I think we can go for a Knight over here. So I think the Hog Rider is going to die, and we will get no hog hits on the tower, and there we go. What we can do is we can always keep our Tesla in hand for his Hog Rider, and we can also go for defensive Xbow during the single elixir time, because we can't allow the Hog Rider a single hit. So our first priority will be defense, and then when the double elixir time will kick in, we can just rocket cycle him out, or we can go for a defensive and offensive Xbow at the same time, and either way are going to secure a victory. We can go for a defensive Xbow over here once again. So we are just playing constantly with 2.3 Hog Rider cycle decks over here. So every player comes in a classic challenge and plays with the 2.3 Hog Rider cycle deck. That is the power of that deck, because that deck is so ridiculously powerful. with such a fast cycle right over there. What we can do is we can go for a rocket over here to get some tremendous amount of value right over there.
For your consideration, the Jericho.
Here we go. We can log the Hog Rider back, and the Hog Rider is going to get no hits on the tower. That's just brilliant, baby. Okay, there comes a cannon from him, and we can go and follow up with a knight over here, and we can follow up with another defensive Xbow right over here. And then I think what we can do is we can go for a Electrospirit back over here, and then I think we can go for some Skellies back over here. We can follow up with the Tesla over here. We are going to use a log and kill that Musketeer, and the Hog Rider is going to get no hits on the tower once again. So, and we can follow up with the Tesla over here. We can follow up with the aggressive Tesla over here, and we can follow up with a aggressive Xbow over here also. So what we can do is we can just log everything back, and there we go. The Musketeer will lock on to the Skellies. The Skellies will be able to shut the Hog Rider down. The Knight comes down. I think the Musketeer is dead, and the Xbow is going to connect to the tower. So what we can do is we can drop the Tesla over here so that the Hog Rider locks onto the Tesla, and we can just log everything back once again and take absolutely no damage, and he drops a fireball, but that is of no value because right now we are up so much. We can go for a defensive Xbow right over here, and right now we are in the range that we can just rocket cycle you out and you cannot do anything, brother.
A few inches later.
We are just one rocket away from the AW right over there. So we can rocket now, and GG, well played, brother. Peace out. So let's try a ladder this time, and we have a matchup against Mr. Goma. So let's see what do you have in store for us. So what we can do is we can go for an Electrospirit back over here, and he immediately responds with a wizard in the back. So right now we don't know what type of deck he's playing, so we can wait and see what he drops next. So he goes for a Hog Rider at the river. We can follow up with the Ice Fizz in the middle. We can follow up with the Knight at the river to shut that wizard down, and he drops a freeze. What? So this man is just literally crazy. So what we can do is we can follow up with an Xbow at the river, and then I think we can go for a Knight at the river, and he drops Executioner. Okay, so you're playing Executioner, Wizard, Hog Rider, Freeze, and that is the most craziest deck I have seen in Clash Royale. So what I can do is, and I also think that you must be having a balloon somewhere in the deck also. So we have to see what he drops next. So, and there comes the balloons. So this time we can guide the balloon to the middle by the help of Tesla and shut that balloon down quite easily. But right now I think he is in a position where he can just Hog Rider at the river and take the tower, because I don't think we can get back to the Tesla in time. So we are in a very bad situation right now. And there comes the biggest fear of my life. We can go for some skeletons, we can follow up with the Tesla, but we will miss the timing, and the Hog Rider is going to eliminate the tower, and we can't do anything right there. So we are down so much right now, and I don't think that we can come back into this matchup pretty easily. But I think we can try. We can follow up with an aggressive Xbow at the river, and he drops an Execution in the back. We can follow up with an Electrospirit over here, and he drops an Scar Me into the Electrospirit, and the Electrospirit will give us so much value. We can log that Executioner back to keep the Xbow alive, and there goes. The Xbow is going to hit the tower. We can follow up with the Tesla to kite that balloon into the middle. We can follow up with the Knight to shut that wizard down, and there we go. The balloon is going to get no hit on the tower. That's good. That's good to see. We can follow up with another aggressive Xbow at the river, I guess, and we can wait. And there we go. We can follow up with an Ice Wizard over here, and he drops in Skarmy. We can log that, and the Xbow once again connects to the tower. That's good to see. He drops in Hog Rider, but I think the Xbow will be able to shut the tower down. Okay, he's zapped. We can follow up the Tesla over here, so we can wait for the log, and then I think we can take the tower. He goes for a balloon, and I think we can rocket the balloon to get no damage from him. So there we go. We can log his tower and take it. That's good. We are back in this matchup, baby. So we are alive and we are well back in this matchup once again. So he drops Executioner in the middle. We can follow up the Ice Wizard, and I think the Executioner is going to get one hit on tower. We can follow up the Xbow over here and a Tesla and an Electrospirit. He drops a Hog Rider and he also freezes it, but we can log the Hog Rider back and the Skeletons are alive. The Hog Rider isn't going to get no hit on the Xbow. Xbow is still alive, unconnected to the tower. The balloon isn't going to get no hits on the Tesla or the Xbow. The Xbow is alive and the Wizard is also dead. So that's good. We are just 2 rockets away from a victory. Damage right now. We can rocket and we will be able to secure the victory right over here. There goes GG. Well played, brother. Peace out. If you want to join me on Instagram or Discord, then do check out the links given in the description. And if you enjoyed watching the video, then do subscribe to the channel.